In this bite, we talked to Coach Raymond about what happens if you fall off the wagon. So on our carnivore journeys, we all we all go through stressful times. We all have cravings, and there are going to be times when we do fall off the wagon. So, Coach Raymond, what do I do if I fall off the wagon?
Yeah. So first of all, falling off the wagon is not a. It's more of like a when will it happen? That's what you need to realize. It will happen. It's just a when. And what are we trying to get out of it? Is one thing I want to let you know. Falling off the wagon, in my opinion, is actually a good thing. So I use that on my clients and let them know this is a great chance to learn a lesson. How does it make you feel when you eat the carb foods all of a sudden? How do you feel physically? How do you feel mentally? How do you feel the next day? How long does it take for you to stop craving those foods after you've had, say, one cheat meal? If you had more than one cheat meal, maybe two, three, or over the weekend, typically I notice that it takes about three to really get the carb hooks in, and it's very hard for you to go back. Now, what I can say about falling off the wagon is, first of all, try to have it planned. If you plan, for example, you're going on vacation with the family, you want to know that you're going to say X, Y, Z, and you want to enjoy this moment with your family. Let's say it's your child's birthday, and you know you're going to have the birthday cake. That's okay. Go ahead and plan on it. What you can do is something simple. You know you're going to have the cake. Well, make sure you eat the meats. Eat plenty of meat. Fill up on the meats. Feel very satiated. And go ahead and eat that piece of cake. Now, that cake will affect you probably a little bit later, depending on how sensitive you are. It does affect me. I'll get the instant sugar high and I'll reach in for more cake. You make that decision before you even touch that cake. How much am I going to take? Whether it's one slice, I'll stop at one slice. Whether it's two bites, that's your decision. And then you go from there. Now, the biggest thing that a lot of people seem to have a problem with is accidentally not planning before they fall off the wagon. They know they have a vacation and they're thinking, oh, I'm going to be carnivore. I'm so confident because I have no cravings. I feel great. I'm not going to fall off. Now, all of these triggers are in place. You've got the trigger of going on vacation. That means you're going to be out of your environment. You've got the trigger of friends and family. That's a social trigger. Then you're going to get the empathetic trigger where you're going to watch people eat their joyful food and all enjoying yourself except for you. So, and then that brings up another trigger, which is the you feel sorry for yourself kind of trigger. You start sympathizing with yourself. Oh man, I can't have this because woe is me. I have to be on this carnivore diet. Well, that's ridiculous. So just plan on failing on this, but plan it properly. Go ahead and say, hey, if I do feel weak, I'll give in to XYZ after I've had my full amount of meats. So these are little strategies that you can do to prevent a big failure. Now, what I can tell you also is after you fail, whether it's by accident or planned, get right back on the meat. Just because you fell down a little bit, don't start kicking yourself. One of the biggest things that people do is that they start saying, "Oh, how weak I am, and how much of a failure I am because I can't even keep this up for longer than a week or 2 weeks or whatever. You know how pathetic I am." Well, can you imagine being a fighter in the ring and you're this fighter against this other boxer and you got knocked down and you're getting on top of yourself? Let's say you duplicated yourself and you start kicking yourself. How much harder is it to get back up? You can't because you're beating yourself up and you can't get back up. Meanwhile, you should have the mindset of just get up. I'm done. I had my little mistake. Oh, I messed up. This guy punched me out. Good on him. I'm just going to get back up, get back into the fight. And that's the mentality you need to have every time. Just do it like it's your job. Just get back up.
Wow, that is profound. I just love that because it is the idea you don't give up, you're conscious and intentional, and that you plan and premeditate that I may deviate here, I'm going to be susceptible here, and that you've already consciously pre-decided that I may deviate, but that doesn't mean I've failed and I'm not going to give up and I'm going to come right back on path. It's just like when an airplane flies, right? They don't fly a straight path. right? They're constantly making those micro adjustments, but they plan for deviations. I just love that. I mean, I wish I had known that along the way because, that is our tendency. It's this kind of all or nothing thinking that, if I mess up, I've failed. And then I completely give up and then just fall back into the carb hole as we talk about. So it was so brilliant. Really great. Thank you so much for that bite, Coach Raymond. We'll see you
Thank you,
next
Janice.
time.